Hello, everyone. Welcome to Monday Live with Alan and Greg and our guests, Dave and Olive. So, everyone should say hi to Dave and Olive.
Say hi, Olive.
Hey, Olive.
Hi.
Hey, Olive. Does she know we're talking about her?
Actually, she can't hear because I'm
You're on
I got,
okay.
got the headphones in. So she just hears me talk. She probably wonders what I'm doing the whole time.
Uh-huh.
I always wonder this. Like when we do our live streams, like if I have to like get up for a second and go, like Gareth always tries to start talking to her. And he'll be like, Olive, Olive can't hear him.
Yeah. Oh,
It's okay. They wouldn't understand what we're talking about anyway.
no.
Unless you're saying treats.
Yeah, right.
I don't know how smart Olive is. If she understands treat.
Yeah, she does.
She
You
does.
understand that word for sure, right?
I thought
Right.
it was bath. If we had to spell BATH, you would even understand that. Dive under the bed.
Oh, he didn't like bats.
Baths, didn't like water, like
Yeah.
swimming pool or at a lake. Just go up to the edge and go back.
Yeah. She doesn't either. I had to clean her up yesterday, and so it's like so difficult just trying to like wash her. I had to give her a good cleaning, wash her whole face and brush her teeth and everything, and it's like torture.
Well, I know when we had our dog Chaz, if I said my wife was going, "Are you gonna take Chaz for a walk?" And he would just do that dumb dog turn around and I'm so excited.
Yeah.
And then she started spelling it.
Right.
And when she spelled it out, he did the same dumb thing, run around. I'm so excited. So we eventually started calling it a thing. You think that's a thing?
Yeah.
And something, sooner or later, she said thing, and you go, "Oh, I'm going on a thing."
Yeah. We spell it if we start talking about it before we're sure we're going to go. But yeah, they probably understand WALK at this point too.
Chaz figured it out. So,
Yeah.
and he was not the world's smartest dog.
Yeah.
So let's say hello to the people in the chat room. Hello, Elaine.
Hey, Elaine.
Hey, wait a second. That's someone else's shtick. That's not our shtick. Saying hi to Olive.
Hey, hi, Olive.
Liminal Spaces says Olive is the cutest guest so far. She might be.
Oh.
Yeah, but competing against a dog.
Hey, Pat.
Hey, Pat. People saying hello. Olive understands popcorn.
Yeah, that's right. She definitely understands that word. I say I'm going to make some of that.
How are the ribs? I saw you did a post a while ago that Olive pulled you over.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
These dogs. I'll tell you what. Yeah, it's all right. It's that's the first thing I've ever broken by accident. 51. I broke when I had the foot surgery. They broke my heel on purpose to like set it at the right angle. But I've never had an accidental break or fracture before. This is the first one.
I've never had a break I've made it to 60 and no breakage. So
yeah, it's all right. They heal pretty quick.
MJ is here. Hello, MJ.
Hey, MJ. That's an old one, Alan.
That's my finger. I broke my little pinky finger. I used to really play guitar well. I only play with 3 fingers. My other one's all broke.
When did you do that?
God, in my 30s, 35.
Oh, and you just didn't get it set?
I might get it operated on. I was in the process of it. It's a long story, but she called me up the other day, the surgeon. But I only play with 3 fingers. I used to be pretty good, but it doesn't hurt or anything. I still feel it. It's like Stephen King's Thinner. If I rub up against.
So before you get MJ off, I want to ask MJ a question.
Hi, MJ.
Watson know what WALK means? See, she can answer in the comment if Watson knows what WALK means.
I'm sure
Yeah.
he does. I bet.
Yeah, he probably does.
He probably knows what
Hey, Fred. Red
Beth
my
needs to.
Fred.
Hey, Fred.
Hey, Fred.
People saying hi.
Yeah, Watson. I drew some pictures of Watson too. One, I drew a big mustache on him, like a comical mustache, because I couldn't get his mouth right. So I said, "F it, I'll just draw a mustache on him."
Yeah, you did a great job with Olive. That really looked like her.
Thanks, but I wish I would have did it another time. Sometimes I just do line drawings. Other times I'll feel something else. But thanks.
Oh no, that was great. That was great. We need to frame that actually and put it up behind us in the in our videos, right?
Yeah, I like doing pets and stuff. Like little babies. I like babies. Some guy wants me to draw a friend of mine from high school in Facebook. He was talking to me about commissioning something. You know, I never know what to charge people, and I haven't even gotten back to him yet. I don't go on Facebook very often anymore, just to post art, and I haven't been doing much art. Been reading too much.
Yeah.
All right.
What else?
So, Dave, with the cracked ribs, did you delegate spring cleaning to the kids?
I mean, that is the one good part about this, because the daughter, the one daughter's at college, but the other two that are here, they're 24 now, so they're responsible and considerate now. You know what I mean? So none of them will let me do anything. They won't even let me cook at dinner.
Wow.
Take out the garbage. They're so that's kind of nice.
Yeah, that is kind of nice.
It's really nice. I've got I've got all my cleaning supplies, but I haven't started yet. I was going to start this weekend. My place, I do it in a weekend. I keep it kind of tight. I mean, the kitchen and bathroom, but got to do my windows. It's been raining all day, but I got to do my floors. It takes maybe half an hour to do my floors.
When it gets too messy, there's nobody else to blame, right, Alan? So
nobody cares, but me. I'm just as you can imagine, it's just stacked with books and papers and crap, just like your den, probably.
Yeah.
You see, my wife and I, we've hired a maid service to come in every week. So
yeah,
you had that one like 3 years ago.
Yeah, we've had it ever since.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
You figure if you're going to spend something on a luxury, might as well have your house clean all the time.
Yeah.
Now they come in once a week or
once a week.
Yeah.
We could probably go back. We could probably go down to every other week, but I think by the end of the second week, you'd start noticing it.
I keep my father. He's got a 3-bedroom place with a big living room, big kitchen. Then I keep after him to get like a service once a week or twice a month, whatever. And he says it's his exercise, the vacuuming and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah. Got a big
we have somebody come up. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say we have somebody come every other week too. Like once my wife went back to teaching, we just we don't have the time, So
yeah. Yeah, house is a lot of work. I've never owned. I almost owned a house, and I had a partner who had a house. She has several in Toledo, Ohio, but I've never owned one outright. I was gonna buy it off her through the bank, where she's like the banker. I don't forget what they call that. It's all legal, believe me, but I almost did that, and I was going to live in the upper part of a duplex and rent out the bottom. I'm glad I didn't. I'd be stuck in Toledo. But that's a lot of responsibility for a house.
Houses, I mean, just last week, I had a slow draining sink.
Yeah.
And I, tried to unscrew it and do the snake and wouldn't work. I eventually just called a plumber.
Yeah.
And the plumber comes in, he pulls out a vacuum and he just and he just shows me the inside, and it's like, where did all this gunk come from?
Yeah. It's all about having the right tools.
It is. I actually thought about that. Is that I had to pay $150 for the plumber,
Yeah.
And if I went to Lowe's or Home Depot, I think that vacuum would be about 170, maybe 180. So
Yeah.
might
Yeah.
be
It was.
worth it just to buy one. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not hard. You unscrew it and you stick it and you suck it out. And
Yeah.
What else could you use it for? Well, never mind. I was thinking, like, could you use it outside? Your water, your hoses ever get?
Alan, I have no idea what they're good for.
Does she handle the outside water?
Yeah, we have bibs. She has a hose.
Yeah. I don't know what else I'd be used for. Bathroom.
Maybe I could do my neighbors.
Yeah. I have to try to get your money.
150. I'll do it for 50.
Oh yeah.
Undercut the. So.
Around the neighborhood making money. Yeah.
It could be your little retirement side gig.
Look what I got.
We usually don't spell around him, but he definitely knows the words.
Yeah.
About Watson. But here you are, Dave, from Fred. Your reading room den, Dave. Does your wife or kids read in there too? Are they avid readers?
One of my daughters is. She's in publishing, and she's a very avid reader, a very fast reader. So she reads a lot. So, but they don't use that. No, this is like my room that I get to like keep like a mess and do, and it is a mess. This is the one room that I get to hang whatever I want and have whatever junk I want in here. That one daughter, she does sometimes use this desk if she has to do video calls for work, but otherwise, just me in here.
Nice. Yeah. Just me in here too. Hello.
So let's start talking about books. So they said usually give it 10 minutes for the late stragglers to come in. So Dave, as a guest, you get to talk about a recent book or currently reading book, whatever.
Recent book. So we're in Horror Mayhem.
Yeah.
So the book I just finished was we already talked about this in comments, I think, but this is the one I just finished, which I really, really liked. This was my week 1 book.
Oh, T. Kingfisher. You mentioned that in your last video. That's the Poe retelling.
Yeah.
I have that on my Kindle.
Oh, you should read it. It's good. It's I think most people like it. But we did it as a group read actually with Becky Bryant and Brian MR. We all read it together. And I think everybody mostly liked it. I had some issues, some problems with it, but everybody mostly liked it. I probably liked it the most, I think, out of everybody. But it was it's reimagining of the fall of the House of Usher.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought it was good because you guys both familiar with that story?
Oh yeah. I read it 2 years ago, and then I read it in college and other times. So I must have read it 3-4 times in a lifetime.
I almost wore my Poe Museum shirt tonight.
Yeah.
For some reason, I just was going through shirts what I want to wear.
The thing that you don't usually say that you don't usually hear this from me because I'm a slow reader, but I wish that story had been a little longer. I really thought that story was too short, a very abrupt ending, and I thought, and so I think she does a great job. It's it's a novella, so it's not too long, but it's definitely much longer than the story, and she kind of really fleshes out and expounds on the things that were too brief in the.
Is it the same characters or just like a thematic retelling?
It's mostly the same characters. I mean, the siblings, Roderick Usher and Madeline Usher, are both there, and they have a friend. The friend that comes to visit is a woman, and so that's one of the things that gets fleshed out a little bit. Is you find out a lot about that character, and she's like an ex-soldier from like this mythical European country, and so that character gets fleshed out a lot. What's causing the illness, what's causing everything that's happening at the House of Usher, that gets really, really fleshed out.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
In a really, really cool way. She does a great job with it, and like the ending gets that whole thing. It's not just like a quick, how it happens really fast at the end. It's not like that. It gets drawn out. so it's scary and creepy, and
Hmm.
so I really liked it. I really liked it.
It's like 100 pages.
It 160, I think.
I want to. Okay.
160.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and there's two. There's a second one. I don't think they relate to the Fall of the House of Usher at all. I think it's this soldier narrator that is moving on to other things. But there's two more. There's one more that's out, and there's a third one coming out in September, I think. And they're all about the same length, I think. But
All right.
yeah.
I have maybe some room for another short book or so.
Yeah. Oh, you read it like a day, Greg.
Well, the thing is, I read slow. I just
Yeah.
have more time.
Yeah.
But if I'm making videos, I don't have the time because
Yeah.
you speak for 45 minutes and then you got to say, okay, I got to edit this down to 20 minutes and
Yeah.
and
45 minutes.
Well, here's the thing: is when I first started doing my videos, I never edited anything. I just spoke, uploaded.
Oh.
And something in my brain kind of made me be more succinct and more careful. And now that I know I can edit, if I say something stupid, I just stop and re-say it.
Yeah.
And go like this or mark the.
Whatever. I don't.
That's what I do. I'll go like this.
I just do
Makes
that
it easier when you're editing.
Edit it out. And I think in a way, I was better when I wasn't having any editing because it forced my brain to say, if you mess up at minute 15, you got to go back to minute 1.
Yeah.
So, it's a weird way to think about it. I think that's
fancy.
Yeah. Yeah, I do minimal editing with like the stuff that I'm saying, but I do spend a fair bit of time on editing because I like to put stuff in. A lot of times I put in like a little background music. I like to put in like other things that I reference, or like if something was published first in this magazine or something. I like to insert a lot of pictures and stuff.
I do book covers all the time.
Yeah. So I spend too much time, I think, on editing.
I do too. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like the first time is like, okay, 15 minutes, you're done. Go home.
Yeah.
Go whatever. You're home. Do whatever. So
yeah,
I know.
I'm pretty fast in my editing. I just started I was on Kine, Kine, for a long time, and then it started too many ads and that, and I didn't want to get a pay for it, so I switched to another even easier one. Real minimum, but I like it.
What do you use, Greg?
I just use my iMovie.
iMovie, okay.
When I was on my Windows machine, I subscribed to this software called Movavi or something like that, which is like $100 a year. Nothing too bad. But the reason I eventually stopped using that is that if you record on your iPhone a movie and you use a cable to transfer it over to your system, you lose visual quality.
Oh.
I don't know what you use, Dave.
So yeah, I use an iPhone to record, and then I AirDrop it to my MacBook Pro.
Okay, so you're not using Windows yet. I mean, was. I think it had something to do with the format Windows record. The iPhone records in. It's not 100% compatible with Windows.
Okay.
And the way I used to do it is I used to upload it to my iCloud, not my iCloud, my Google Drive. And then once it's in the Google Drive, I download it to the laptop with Windows, and it's all fine. But sometimes you're uploading to Google Drive. You say, okay, go take a 20-minute break and come back. And I eventually just bought a, MacBook.
Yeah.
And it's all I use my MacBook for is YouTube stuff.
Oh, is that right?
I have two. I have a Windows and I have MacBook. And I have a Windows because I use Microsoft Access to do my book database.
Okay.
And it's not compatible with Mac. So
yeah.
And then the stocks.
Okay.
So Dave, any other horror mayhem stuff you've been reading?
Yeah, not too much horror mayhem yet. I've read a few short stories, little Lovecraft. I just
Oh.
started this morning. I've only read like 3 pages, but I just started Ring Shout. This is my week 2 book.
Heard things about that.
Yeah.
Is it a horror book or is it like a historical KKK book?
It's
Yeah, it looks like a clan.
yeah, supposedly it's a lot of things, but it's definitely a horror book.
Okay.
But it's definitely some other things too. It's a number of genres, and I'm only a couple pages in, but it's it's about like a team that's like hunting Ku Klux Klanners, you know, and so I don't know. It sounded interesting, but
Hell yeah.
what I tell you about, I didn't do a video about this, but a non-horror book that I just recently finished that I really loved, which is this. Have you guys read this?
I have not read that. one.
Oh no, I've heard of it. I like her.
I did read her first novel, which was pretty good.
Oh, that's a chunker.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever
Magician.
read that. That's so big.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange and Mr. Norrell, or is it Mr. Norrell and Dr. Strange, or something like that?
Yeah, yeah. But this, I loved this book. This was it was very different.
High fantasy.
And sorry,
High fantasy.
it's like one of those genre bending books. It's kind of hard to part of. So there is, I guess this is not a spoiler. Our character spends a lot of time in this world that's like a labyrinth with like a lot of sort of like, you know, like different art, like statues, like all over this labyrinth. And, you know, but a lot of like what you would call the book depends, a lot of how you would classify it depends on your interpretation.
Oh, see now I love books where you don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
It's up to you to sort of figure it out.
Yeah. So this is one of those books like she purposely left it open to interpretation. Which I'm not always a big fan of, but I was here because like I'll tell you, I group read this with Gareth and with Constance Campbell. Oh, Constance is here.
Oh, okay. Well,
so we group read this
comments
together.
in just a minute. We're a little behind on comments, but that's normal.
Constance and Gareth, we all agreed that she left it open for interpretation, but we all thought that she gave strong suggestions. And my conclusion about what she was strongly suggesting was going on was different than theirs.
Cool.
Oh, wow.
Now I have to pick it up.
Yeah.
Now I have to find a copy.
I had it from the library.
I can get it from the library.
Yeah.
So
how do you pronounce it?
I don't know. I say Piranesi, but I don't know if that's right.
Piranesi is what I've heard, but who knows?
Yeah.
Piranesi.
I mean, it's only like 250 pages. You know, it doesn't take that long.
I might get an audiobook also.
Hey, Nicole.
Hey, let's say hello. She said, Olive.
Nicole said hi.
Hey, Jess Girls TV. Elaine saying hi.
Hi.
He's saying Greg working at cleaning pipe. You know, Elaine, I don't think I'm really going to work at cleaning pipes. I like my afternoons off too much. It's not worth $50.
I would do it.
Well, Alan, I'll go check out the prices, and you can start having a pipe cleaning service.
Yeah, I was thinking about like never mind.
Well, you see, Alan, you know, if they pay cash, you just don't report it as an income.
Yeah, no. There's this Rio Ribs place up in our neighborhood. It's always like packed. It's a rib joint. They have catfish too and that. But I've been buying this pulled pork from Safeway. I've been buying it like once, twice a month, you know, and eating it on mac and cheese. I'm telling my dad, yeah, I can set up a little wheelbarrow out there and just sell it at half price. Stupid.
So Chris loves Usher. Yeah.
No.
Nice.
Oh,
shout.
thank you. That's my goblet.
Yeah.
What's on the goblet?
It's a dragon.
The dragon. Okay.
That was a birthday present, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Anything interesting in that goblet?
Well, that's the beauty of the goblet. Nobody ever knows What's in there?
I got my
Might
drink.
be milk. What?
I have my drink too.
Iced tea.
Is it iced tea?
It's iced tea. I mean, it looks just like my spiced rum upstairs.
I was asking Greg if he was going to have any margaritas for Cinco de Mayo. He goes, all I have in the house is rum and vodka. Going, what? I didn't know he drank. Well, rum makes
I like
sense.
my spiced rum.
I know you're always in the Caribbean. I don't doubt it. Oh, rummy.
The book buds. Now, do we have both book buds or one book bud? Big question.
Yes.
Joe and Mary. So I guess you ask, is it Joe or is it Mary or is it a mystery? Me too. I love adding pictures. People saying hi to each other. I use iMovie for videos. iMovie is actually very good. It just comes with your MacBook, and you don't have to pay anything extra.
Much easier than video editor.
Yeah, iMovie is much easier than video editor.
I used. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I've never tried anything other than the Movavi on the Windows and the iMovie.
Oh. Yeah, I used iMovie for a while, and then there was just things I wanted to do that just made it too frustrating with iMovie. Like I couldn't put like overlay a pic, like you could only do one picture.
Oh yeah, that really kind of annoys me because sometimes I want a picture on this side, a picture on that side, but
yeah. I finally broke down and bought Final Cut Pro. And
oh dear, how much is Final Cut Pro?
When I bought it, I think it was like $300. It was pricey, but I was able to. I don't pay that much because that was the type of thing I could expense. You know,
well, that's the one thing is now that my channel is monetized, I could, if I really wanted to do it.
That's true.
I didn't last year because the amount of money I made was just kind of pathetic. But it's money. I still have to pay taxes, but
right.
The problem is if all my book expenses and everything just is going to be higher than what I make from my channel. So every year would be a loss.
All right.
And as I understand it, you're allowed to have a business that loses money for like either 3 or 5 years.
Oh.
And then you do it anymore.
Yeah.
And I see, to me, it's not worth it.
You raise a very good point because so when we're monetized, we could actually expense the books.
Absolutely.
I never even thought of that. I was just thinking like the video editing.
No. If you read a book and you can hold it up, you talk about it. It's deductible because you theoretically could make money off of that. You
just changed my world tonight, Greg.
Don't get on the show.
Don't get too over the top. I used to work with a guy back in the early aughts, and he was one of those tax haters.
Yeah.
And he says you always got to minimize your tax. Always minimize your tax.
Yeah.
He says, what's your home business? And I go, I don't have a home business. Well, you got to start one. For tax purposes.
Right.
And he did crazy things. It's like sometimes you're working with your buddy, you go out for lunch, right? So we go out to lunch, he drives, he says, I got to stop at the bookstore. He looks at the business section. He says, okay, they don't have what I want. I said, why'd you do that? He says, it's now a business trip.
Yeah.
I just looked for a business book. They didn't have it, but I can write off my mileage as a tax deduction.
Yeah.
And I'm going like, dude, just pay your freaking taxes. But that's just my mindset. Piranesi is so good, says MJ.
Oh, yeah.
Mind is still buzzing for Piranesi. Sounds like a book I would like.
Piranesi.
I think it's a book for anybody. I was telling my family because we don't all like the same stuff, of course, but I think any of them might like it. I think it's So Jess uses iMovie. Yeah.
Yeah, on her phone. I can't do it. I tried it a couple times on my phone with iMovie, and for some reason you have limited space on your iPhone,
Hmm.
and you're doing your editing, and it says you're out of space.
I hate
Hit
that.
save,
Yeah.
and you have to stop what you're doing, lose all your changes, go remove old content, and go back. So that's when I said I'm not doing it on my phone.
Yeah.
And I presume if you're really thorough, you finish editing your video on your phone, and then you delete everything you don't need. So it's all set up the next time. But
All right.
here's MJ. OMG, Dave. Books, trips,
Trips.
songs, anything that involves creating and
Trip.
publishing content. Yeah, like when I
Yeah.
went out to Philadelphia, I met up with MJ. Theoretically, I could have just done that as a total write-off.
Yeah.
Drinks on me.
Well, if I did not go to the horror convention, there's a horror book convention near me I didn't go to, but I could have gone to it. I could have
Yeah.
interviewed or talked to authors. Said, it's all write-off.
Yeah.
I talked to someone, I'll go show them my thing, but
Got to keep track of all that. stuff.
yeah. But the
Yeah.
only issue is I don't really make enough money to justify it. I mean,
Yeah,
sure,
but most businesses are money losers when they're first starting out, Greg. So
Absolutely.
it's right. I mean, it's all with the vision of making a lot of money. It's
all the
justified.
vision, all of a sudden, all my videos will have 35,000 views on them and making.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can dream, but it's not going to happen.
The
I can
missing
dream about
hat.
it, I guess. Did anyone get the new Ashley Flower books, The Missing Hat? I've never even heard of that one.
Yeah, I haven't even heard of it. What's that about, Jess?
Yeah, leave a comment. Okay, Dave. Any more? Should we move on to Alan and see what Alan's been reading?
Yeah, let's move on to Alan. See what Alan's.
Okay. Well, I finally read Dark Matter.
Oh, Blake Crouch.
Oh, by
Yeah.
Crouch.
Finally read that. I've been hearing about it for 5 years or more.
What'd you
And,
think?
Oh, loved it. I
Yeah.
couldn't put it down, except I was buddy reading it with somebody, and it was somebody I didn't know yet, and we're trying to communicate. And finally got on Discord, but we finally she didn't finish it before me, or vice versa, so that was good. But it reads really fast.
Yeah.
I
Did you read that, Greg?
Yeah, I did. I
Oh.
read that book on my Kindle one afternoon on the beach in Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get out on the beach. It's 8 a.m. You sit there, and then 3 o'clock. Oh, I finished my book. I'll go inside and cool off. And
Hey, is Pat in the chat?
Pat was in the chat earlier. I don't know if she's still
Let's
here or
see.
not.
We have an inside joke going. What I tell you, Pat? But yeah, it was a young black female booktuber. Her name's Londa, and pretty cool. So I'm trying to get like new booktubers. I try to get involved, and there's some like 2-3 people in the comments that I'm trying to get on the show right now.
Mm.
And there she goes.
Okay, yeah. So what was the comment that I would say? Like I read the book in one day.
No, we had like just an inside joke. She missed it. Did you miss the joke, Pat? Anyway, and then so what else am I'm reading? Praiseworthy still. That's like a group.
Which one?
It's called Praiseworthy by Alexis Wright, who also wrote Carpentaria. Is that how you pronounce it, guys? It's Australian. Carpentier. Carpentier.
No idea.
Marcia sent me this, and I'm Praiseworthy is like Australian. It's 600 and some pages long, so it's like a 2-month, maybe even 3-month long thing. So I'm enjoying that. Some people aren't enjoying it as much as me for different reasons. It's kind of the narrator is funny, but he's like Aboriginal, but he's like half in the real world, half not. They still put high stock in dreams and things and like that, symbols. But so a lot of people are like kind of dropping out. Ariana's in it. she's in the comments sometimes. Then I'm just reading some Borges again, trying to do a video on the Zahar. Remember that one, Greg? The Zahar
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
point. What?
Oh, the point, yeah, the point, yeah.
Yeah. So, they're all relatively short. So I got to read that again, get my mind set on video. Then Finnegan's Wake Group is going along real well. Really proud of that. Roy's doing a great job. And I just read Billy Idol. That was a gift from Flossie.
Huh.
And so I never know what videos are going to tank. Or now a good video for me is like over 100 views. It's been up for like 5 hours. It's already got like 50, I think. So I never know.
A lot of people like Billy Idol, I guess.
So, Alan, whatever happened to Billy Idol? I know he was big in the '80s, and then he just.
Somebody told me. What? Like our age or older, I think. He's just spending his money. He's richer than hell. I knew he was rich, but he's really rich.
Billy Idol?
Yeah, through MTV and all that.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I learned a lot by reading that.
He didn't blow all his money on women and drugs.
Right. Usually they end up dead or in rehab. He's still riding his motorcycle all around. He's a biker, like in LA. And he was like on the verge of punk in the Sex Pistols. He was right there next to him when they first went on stage in '76 and stuff. So, I learned a lot about that. His family was real close to him all through his, but he was a crazy drug addict and like sex addict. Would go to Bangkok and that kind of crazy, gross stuff. So I don't know if I like him or not. Greg and I are reading another Roadside Attraction.
Starting next week.
That's your first time, Greg?
Yes.
Yeah,
What's
great.
that?
So I've been
What's
trying
that
to
about?
on new books. Excuse me. Then I'm going to read this on my own because was Radio Free Abernath. I always call it, what is it? Abermuth.
Okay.
Albermuth. Because I've never read this, and then I'm trying to get Greg and Randy Ray to read Valis with me again.
Well, I want to read that one too.
Valis, or this one too?
Well, this one, no. The Radio Free Abermath, as I understand it, was a novel he wrote and basically didn't publish because he was, for whatever reason, dissatisfied with it.
Oh.
And then he rewrote it as Valis. So that's sort of like the initial. That's why I want to read them together. You see, this is his first idea that didn't pan out the way he wanted to.
I see.
And then he wrote Valis. Now, Valis is one of my favorite Philip K. Dick books.
Yeah, mine too. I've read it once before. That girl Sandra or something, that Hollywood chick.
So you're saying this other one that Alan is holding was kind of like his first failed attempt at that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Valis. Okay, I thought it was like the prequel or something.
I may be wrong. I thought someone was saying that was his first attempt to do it.
No, I'm sure you're right. Now Chris is going to make a comment, but he might be into reading Valis or this too with us.
Let's get through some comments. Jess is reading Gulliver's. I love Gulliver.
Oh yeah.
I think I listened to the audiobook in the 80s, not 80s, 90s.
By the great Irish author Jonathan Swift.
Oh, Chris is reading When Darkness Loves Us. That is a great horror story.
Yeah, I've never heard or read that.
It's a short story?
It's a short story novella. But the premise of it, I'll just give you the premise. There is a young girl. She's like 16 or 17. She's recently married. She's pregnant. And she's on this big piece of land with her husband. And she goes to this basically a tomb area, with the door, and it's open. And she goes to investigate it because it's, a big tomb area. And she's out way in the back, and she hears someone up front close the door and lock it. she hears her husband says, "I don't want anyone sneaking in here," or something like that. So she's
Okay.
trapped behind this tomb. And then she goes to the back and discovers a cave system. And this whole underground cave system exists under the land. Pitch black. She's pregnant. So she has to live and survive and give birth underground.
Huh.
It's really good.
Wait, put it back up again. I'm going to write it down. When Darkness Loves Us?
Darkness Loves Us. There is a Kindle book or a paperback book. It's a paperback from hell. It's like two novellas in this book.
Oh, okay.
So you can get it. Some collections have When Darkness Loves Us, just as an independent.
I'll try to hunt it down. The paperback from hell, are both the stories in it by the
Yeah,
same?
both the stories. Honestly, I would check out your local bookstore, Amazon. I mean, it's in this collection.
Okay.
It's a really good story.
Check that out.
People talking about Billy Idol. Someone had a comment.
China Chow.
Oh, Billy Idol was on tour.
Yeah, hold on.
I don't even know who China Chow is. So
She didn't come up in the book?
No. Oh, yeah, this book is like 2014. It's kind of old.
Oh,
All right.
Brand new. Yeah, that's what I said in my video. What he's been doing since 2014 is spending his money.
Billy Idol is playing at May. We saw that.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
really?
No, wait a second. You can't be right, because I am baby boomer.
Yeah.
I'm 64, so I'm the last year of the baby boomers. So I don't think Billy Idol is younger than me. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I don't think he is.
I mean, he was popular when I was
In the 80s.
Early 20s, late teens, something like that. So I think he's older.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, maybe some of these musicians start early. He could have been.
He did start really early. He dropped out of high school and everything in London with the punks.
She started it. St. Gilbert, Daisy Darker, Alice Feenley. Have any thoughts? Either of them? I just bought them today. I don't recognize any of those titles, honestly.
Or the authors?
I think I saw that she started it.
Liminal says, "I'm looking forward to your thoughts, Tom Robbins. I really love Jitterbug Perfume."
Yeah. So what is that Tom Robbins book about, Alan?
Which one?
Another roadside attraction.
Yeah. You can tell him, Greg. But Chris, I saw Chris's video on Jitterbug Perfume. It was great. Was excited to see that. We don't talk enough about Tom Robbins, I don't think.
The idea is this was done in the early 70s, and it's about 60s culture, essentially. Okay. But apparently there is this roadside attraction that says it has the corpse of Jesus Christ on display.
Okay.
Which means, of course, that he never resurrected from the dead.
Right.
Which totally would change the Christian religion if what they claim is true is true. And
it's a comedy.
It's a comedy, yeah.
Huh.
But
interesting.
I've never read it, but
I like Jitterbug Perfume the best. But I thought Greg would like this better.
Chris says, "You're right about Radio Free, Greg. It was his first attempt to write Valis."
Hmm.
Well, yeah. So, Alan, we got to put both of those on the reading for next year. Maybe we can squeeze it in late this year. I don't know, but I want to read them together and just investigate.
Right. What's Valis about?
Ooh, it's pretty good.
Valis is
extraterrestrials and
it's very difficult
California
to describe. Now, the big thing you have to understand is that it's fiction, but one of the main characters is Philip K. Dick. and his
Okay.
friend Horse Lover Fat. They both have major trouble with drugs. Philip K. Dick
Speed.
had major trouble with drugs in real life.
Okay.
So some people claim it's not even a science fiction book. It's all about his dealing with drug addiction and what that does to your mind. But VALIS stands for Vast Active Learning System, which supposedly is a satellite circling the earth, beaming thoughts into people.
Huh.
It's bizarre.
Sounds bizarre.
It is.
Mental health and mental illness and that.
Yeah.
But then he's got a wild California girlfriend, and it's kind of swashbuckling, adventurous.
Alan, it's got many weird things in that. That's kind of why. It's just,
Yeah, with a name like Horse Lover Fat.
well,
Yeah.
now the thing is, I won't spoil it for anyone who's not read it, but you have to look at the etymology of the words that make up Horse Lover Fat.
Oh, I only read it once.
And that will give you a clue and possibly a spoiler to the book.
Oh, shoot, I didn't know that. But it's going to be like a first read for me. And I buddy read it with a guy. He doesn't have a channel anymore, but it was a few years ago. And I made a lot of notes in mine.
Huh.
So,
Oh, she's talking about the
Probably the When Darkness Loves Us.
Angstrom book. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I think MJ is going to like that one. Wow, Jess, perfect combo. I really love Joan Jett. Cover Season of the Witch.
I like Joan Jett too, better than Billy Idol. Probably.
My Philly library had an ebook. He's a grandpa, and I think you're all talking still about Billy Idol.
Billy Idol, yeah.
Okay, read by Fred says he's 16. Okay, thank you.
69 years
Sure
old.
that he was.
God, he is older. I didn't know he was that much older than us.
And you all need to turn in your cool cards. Billy Idol, born 55. Here comes Pat, born 55. Billy Idol lived on Long Island for a year when he was a kid.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fire Island.
Lived in
Yes, he lived in
Patchogue and a
Patchogue.
center.
He came to the country with a banjo on his knee, literally. His grandparents in Cork, Ireland gave him a banjo to take to America. Banjo on my knee.
He has 3 granddaughters. Wow. Okay. All right, Alan. That's what
Fascinating.
you've been reading?
No, that's it. I'm going to throw mine. Yeah, look at all these.
Well, I'm still doing my horror story a day for Decades of Dread, or just about. It's 5 stories a week will get me through to the end. So read a couple good ones. And like I said, when the story has multiple interpretations, I read one today, which could have been a mystery story, could have been a horror story. Not quite sure. It's sort of like, don't know where you are, but I'll talk about that one later. But for Spring into Adventure, I'm reading Hornblower series, Beat to Quarters. This is the Napoleon era naval adventure stories.
Huh.
Never heard of it before?
No.
Very famous.
I've heard of the Hornblower series.
Patrick O'Brien also has a very famous series, very much in line, about a British naval captain doing captain stuff. This is kind of an interesting book. The series has 11 books in it.
Oh man.
This is, they say, the 5th book in the series chronological, but it's the first one he published.
Oh.
So I've been looking at it. He published, starting with this book, where Hornblower is already captain of the ship. And then I think he wrote like 5 books or 6 books or something along the age. Take him like up to admiral or lord. And then he was sort of at the end. So then he started going back in time and started right when he was like a lieutenant.
Hmm.
And so the big question is, how do you read these books?
Yeah.
Do you read it in chronological story order? Start off when he's lieutenant and read through the end when he's an admiral, which is sort of how the publishers are pushing it.
Hmm.
They say this is book 4, book 5. I can't remember what it is, but it's the first one he wrote. And I decided if I want to read this, I want to read it in publication order.
Yeah. That's how I would always do it.
Right? Because
Yeah.
obviously he's going to know so much more about the character after he finishes
Right.
these 5. Then he goes back to the first one. He already knows a lot of the story.
Yeah.
I got a question for you, Greg.
What?
Do you like, as far as like military, do you like Army or Navy better?
I don't care.
You don't care? It doesn't matter, like the rankings are kind of the same, right? All that.
I'm not the person to ask about military rankings.
Because I get confused on them, but I've
Yeah.
never really read a like naval one.
Yeah. It's he describes a naval battle in here. It's just kind of gruesome. I mean, it's not super graphic, but
Worse
he
than
describes.
Civil War?
No, this is 1818, maybe 1808, maybe something like somewhere
Napoleon.
in that range.
Yeah.
And that the main way you get injured is that when another ship fires a cannon at you, and the cannon hits the ship, the wood splinters and flies everywhere. And so your injury is basically wood splinters.
I've had cats before, but
So yeah, you can get. Oh, and sometimes the cannonball hits someone and just pulverizes them, and
yay.
Hmm.
and you have to remember, they really didn't have much medical technology back then. You know, just
Oh, like in War and Peace, half of them are going. It was like due to luck. It says, "Come on, let's just go." Well, just walk into the. Good luck.
And then I'm listening to an audiobook called Wolves of Winter. It's by Dan Jones. Dan Jones is mostly known for his histories of England. His main job as a writer, as a historian. But he started writing novels a few years ago. The first one was called Essex Dogs, about a group of British mercenaries going over to France to fight in a war. And this war, I forgot the name of the war. It's 1345 is the year this war takes place.
Oh man, that's brutal.
But what's curious is I just learned that, and I'm presuming since he's an historian that he's going to tell accurate history. That this is the first war where the British started using cannons. So you get a lot of the French going, what the hell was that? Because they'd never experienced a cannon before. But it's pretty good. I mean, hold on one second. I sort of thought that he might have been thinking of writing a historical novel about this war, not novel, a history about this war, and got through it and says maybe he didn't have enough information to write a very good history, but he could write a story about them, about the men who served as the soldiers in this war. So yeah, they also had very brutalized fighting in those wars. But
I've never really read any books of that nature. I'm gonna have to try one out.
No, I've read some Civil War books.
Yeah.
Well, it gets very gritty about what a soldier's life would have been like back then.
War and Peace is a lot to do with Napoleon, war, and that.
It does, but Leo Tolstoy, all his characters were the upper class, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And,
yeah.
And in this, his characters are low mercenary
Oh,
soldiers.
Hmm.
more gritty, huh?
Well, yeah, because it's like they have no money, they have no prospects other than they're fighting in wars and coming back with
Spoiled.
spoils. And it's kind of funny because at one point, a lot of them are offered 50 pounds because they captured a French nobleman.
Oh,
And they're going, oh, at 50 pounds, we divide it up. I could last for a couple years.
they're gonna get bribed.
No, Alan, just think about it. How long would you last with 50 pounds in England nowadays?
Yeah,
Could you
a
live?
weekend.
Could
Weekend.
people last a few years living in comfort?
Weekend.
No, 50 pounds will buy you dinner
Yeah,
on a
pizza
date.
jerk.
You don't drink anything.
Exactly. Pizzas are 30 now.
Yeah. But then I have to
Make
start
pizza.
reading my horror mayhem for next week. And what's the one I want to get? Let me see if I can pull this
More
up.
coffee.
Where is my horror mayhem book?
They left me all by myself, guys. We're going to take it over here. We're going to turn this into a supplemental Is This Thing On episode.
I'm on a coffee already.
And
You got some biscuits too, Dave. I got some biscuits.
you both left. I was about to whip out the biscuits and turn it into an episode of Is This Thing On?
Well, I have a biscuit story to tell because Alan talked about, but this is the one I'm going to start late this week.
Oh, yeah.
Goddess of Filth by
Yeah,
B.
yeah.
Castro. I hear a lot
Yeah.
of good things about this.
Good things about that one.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna read that one. Not right now, but I loved what was the name of the one I read? Now the name's not gonna come to me. I read it last Horror Mayhem.
Oh, that one everybody was reading.
Queen of the Cicadas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was it good?
It was excellent. Yeah. It was excellent. I really, really enjoyed that.
All right. Yeah, but this one I'm going to be buddy reading with Bad as Rad, where I set up. I'm going to start end of this week, something like that. Got to finish this, and I have one other short book I have to read before I can start this, but
Yeah.
it'll be good.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see what you think of that because I definitely wanted to read more by her.
Yeah, I've never read anything by her, and I've only heard good things for the most part.
Yeah.
So Jess had to go. Goodbye, Jess. I'm sure you're going by now.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Joe.
Chris got to go. The kid wants the TV. She also meant that Billy Idol was
in the band Generation X.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Now it's making sense. Of course, if you're a baby boomer, why would you name your band Generation X?
Then they made it Gen X, but that was before Gen X.
I don't know.
But thanks, Chris.
Yep.
Want to get him on the show?
We do
See
have
you,
to get him
Chris.
on the show. He was a host, guest host for our live open mic. Came in.
Yeah, last week.
Nope. Constance is asking about your ribs, Dave.
Oh, they're okay, Constance. Getting better.
Cracked ribs really hurt. I had cracked ribs once too.
Yeah.
A lot of decades ago.
We were talking about biscuits.
Oh, okay.
And Alan sent me a Voxer, says, are you going to have any biscuits to hold up for the show? And I said, well, I'll go check out what they have. So I went to the Martian, the Wall Martians, and I was looking at some of their cookies. They have fresh baked cookies.
Oh, those
But
best
the
kind.
problem is, I looked at the cookies, and I have this thing about cookies. And this is something people can answer in the comments about cookies. Do you like your cookies crunchy or chewy? I like my cookies chewy. And I'm pretty sure, just looking at the cookies they are that they were going to be crunchy cookies.
Oh, so you'll be.
See,
like
I
crunchy.
don't want to eat a cookie and have crumbs falling out.
They'll dip in some milk.
Well, how do you eat the cookies, Greg? Yeah, dude. Just gotta,
A chewy cookie doesn't crumble as much.
gotta eat 'em,
That's one of those big things on which side is like, are you Windows, are you Mac, or whatever? It's like, are you chewy or crunchy on your cookies?
Are you window? Are you aisle? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's see.
Because you usually, right, your fresh baked cookies, they usually tend to be soft, but
They do.
so you're not going to eat it? Is that what you're saying? You're not
No,
gonna
I
eat
would have eaten them, but I just didn't buy
Oh.
them.
it?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
like scones. These don't count as like biscuits. I like blueberry scones.
Yeah.
And ask Greg. That's all I eat there, and that's all I eat anywhere. If they don't have blueberry scones, I get apple scone. You know, but I got these things. These are all the way from Mexico for you.
Whoa! What are those?
These are biscuits. They're like they come in like two things. I already opened one. They're marshmallow with an Oreo on them.
Marshmallow with an Oreo.
Yeah, from Mexico.
All right, let's see. I'm gonna need to see you. Oh, like it's an Oreo in between the marshmallow. Oh, did you just split one in half? Oh,
No, they come on top.
wow! It looks pink. Is that like a strawberry flavored marshmallow or
Yeah,
something?
strawberry flavor.
Wow.
Pretty good.
Yeah, looks good.
So I
Mexico-
compromised
Mexico.
at Walmart. I bought a bag of these.
That's not a cookie. That's a candy
That's not a
bar.
I know. I didn't want to buy a crunchy cookie, so I bought a candy bar.
I like those.
That's like the time Jim pulled out a lifesaver for his biscuits.
Yeah, like a Slim Jim. Here's mine.
Well, I didn't know we were doing biscuits, so I didn't bring any. I thought that was a different show.
That
See,
was-
these will
we're
last
stealing
me
from
a
your
long
show now.
time. These will last me a week or.
Yeah, I
Stones
try.
won't.
I try not to. Me and Olive both are constantly watching our figures, so I try. I get these cookies for the shows, and then I only ever eat like one or two on the show, and then I try to get my family to eat the rest of them.
Right.
I don't want to eat anymore.
Yeah, there's a nice
Right.
bakery across the street from me I go to once in a while with the art director. But we do a lot of eating around here. I had sushi with the art director today. It was my turn, so we go for like they have a happy hour before 4. You get a discount. The sushi joint. But we're always going to eat somewhere around here.
Elaine recommends cheesecake.
Oh yeah.
Take no crumbs.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you have a graham cracker crust on that cheesecake, then you'll have some crumbs.
There you go.
A little chewy. Crispy ones dipped in coffee are good too. Any texture with chocolate is okay.
Mm-hmm.
Pat does not. She says, I don't discriminate. I like chewy and I
That's
like crunchy.
That's a good attitude. Don't forget to
Dave,
write off
don't
those
forget to
cookies.
write off those cookies.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. I can write off the cookies too.
Part of your show, if you hold them
This-
up, you say they're a prop for my show.
This is blowing my mind. I can't believe I didn't think about this.
Sure.
But no, Dave. This is coming from the guy I used to work with who told me that I had to have a home-based business.
Yeah,
And he says, like he said, a home-based business can lose money for 5 years.
yeah,
And then you have to close it down.
yeah.
Or you can't write it off. He says, but you can just start a new business.
Yeah.
So after 5 years, you don't make enough money.
Yeah.
Instead of book blather, you can call it blathering books. It's a whole new business. Now,
I
don't
could
think
probably
that
even
is-
write off Olive's treats, right? I can write off the these blue
Her
bits.
veterinary care, all that. Probably.
Well, now here's where my knowledge is a little slim. You have to have it for the business. So the treats that you're feeding Olive now
Yeah.
or feed on your show are tax deductible.
Yeah.
But if it's not on the show and she's just getting random treats, those treats are not tax deductible.
Yeah.
So you'd have to have, tell your wife or daughters, these are tax deductible treats. Don't feed Olive unless she's on the show. And then you have a box of normal treats. You can feed her those treats.
Yeah.
Like that's my knowledge, and I'm not a tax person, so don't take it as tax advice.
That's funny. That's funny.
The thing is, I just am thrilled that I get a couple extra bucks for making videos that out of nothing. So I don't worry about trying to maximize my tax deductions.
Yeah.
But funny though.
Have you gotten a YouTube check yet?
Yeah,
You have. Okay.
I got gotten a few. Have you gotten there yet, Dave? Or
I didn't. I monetized because I heard you're once you're able to, you should, because otherwise
they're going to show you. They show the ads whether you're monetized. Or
Yeah.
not.
So I did it, but I didn't put ads on anything because I thought I don't have enough views. It's not going to make a difference. It's just going to annoy people. And then one day Garrett's telling me that he got his check, and I'm like, wait, what? I mean, you actually making enough to get a check? I'm like, all right. So I just started like a few weeks ago.
Okay.
Just started putting the ads on. So
And for me, I don't get a check every month.
yeah,
I don't. There's a minimum amount. I guess I can say it's $100.
yeah,
You have to earn $100 to get a check.
yeah,
Most months I don't make that.
yeah.
Now, last month I had this really viral video that's had like 37,000 views, which is just insane for my channel. And that one itself has made more than $100.
Oh, nice. What video was that?
6 books few people read anymore.
Oh, okay.
And what's so interesting is like I was stuck on a Sunday, saying, I don't know what to have for a video on Monday. And I said, okay, I'll just make this dumb video to make something to send it out.
Yeah,
I said, I'll be happy if I get 200 views.
yeah.
And then 37,000.
So did you make that up?
like that?
Because, sorry, what'd you say, Alan?
No, the best ideas are often like that. They come really easy.
Yeah,
It wasn't even an idea. It was just like, just throw this out there. Just get something done. And
yeah. Because I had seen Nicole did a video like that.
She saw my video and she made one herself.
Yeah, I missed yours. I saw hers. I'm like, oh, that's such a good idea, but it was your idea.
It was my idea. I had to check back with Nicole and see how hers did.
Yeah, that's a cool idea. Maybe I'll steal that idea.
Yeah, Joe. I mean, honestly, I think there's a lot of different things that go into that algorithm.
Biscuit.
A lot of it could be video length, that they like a video at a certain, not too short, not too long.
Yeah.
Has some keywords that can attract people.
Put numbers in it.
Put numbers, and one of the things is that in that video that really made some people mad is one of the books I held up was a book by Arthur Koestler called The Age of Longing.
Mm-hmm.
And I said he's mostly famous for his anti-authoritarian novel Darkness at Noon.
Mm.
Right?
Yeah.
And people are going, you're being anti-Trump.
Yeah.
He's not anti-authoritarianism. He was anti-Marxist in Soviet Union. And they were really mad.
Yeah. Because
Good.
Because being a Trumpian authoritarian is totally fine, right?
Uh-huh.
So I can't say he's anti-authoritarian. I'd say he's anti-Marxist or anti-Soviet Union.
Oh.
And I don't. It could have been a bot. I was just listening to Steve Donahue, and he mentioned that bots sometimes leave comments.
Hmm.
Really?
Yes, they have some sort of algorithm that comes up with some comments based on your content. And so maybe those were just bots talking about it. I don't know.
I don't know.
So there's all these things that go into it. Why it was so popular.
Yeah.
And then I got
He's
so many
really
criticisms saying you talk too slow.
Yeah, I heard that, Greg.
Uh,
Did you hear that
A lot of them are
Hey.
saying you talk too slow
to Greg?
to me. And I do. I mean, I do talk slower than some people.
yeah.
Now, there's a lot of people who like younger people who make TikTok videos, and they're just going wham, just filling
Yeah,
out
but
those
that's
words.
kind of personal. The way somebody criticizes you for like the way you talk, or
Yeah.
like
Well,
how big your ears are. Or,
I can totally understand it because TikTok has a time limit on their videos.
yeah.
So you have to be good at squeezing in as many words into that video as possible. So
I listen to people on 1.5 speed.
Yeah, I mean, any video that gets that many views, Greg, it's going to have negative comments.
it is, and
There's people out there that do it just for fun, you know.
and you know something. It was the behind the scenes tag video, which I need to do, asking if you ever delete comments or block people. And I think Steve Donahue was saying, if you make certain comments, I just block you. And for me, you know, if they want to talk about how slow I am or they don't like, I'm going to let them talk. I'm not going to try to hide the fact that people have negative comments. Just let it
Yeah,
flow.
that's good.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Now, the one difference is if they got really nasty. Now, I've heard of some people like they get very personal, get very attacky. They may attack certain type of ethnicity, and once you get into hate, if I ever saw hate speech,
Yeah.
that's when I would delete and block. But
I think women get it harder than we do. The personal comments.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
What YouTube is? You said?
You know, women get more personal comments.
Oh, that women get more of them. Oh, yeah,
yeah.
sure. Yeah, I thought
even that, like, I read some of the comments of my friends and that. Sometimes I even chime in, like, if people I know. But
you know,
I was like, it's kind of creepy when men comment on other women's hair and stuff. I would never do that.
Yeah, you know, I heard Ollie one time, Criminali. He one time made a comment. I thought this was like, I just thought this was so big of him. Because he gets so many views, so he gets those stupid, you know, of course he gets some of those comments that are just personal and just trashy. And he had gotten some comment about somebody, you know, making fun of his teeth. You know, and he said he actually internalized it like kind of constructively because like it made him realize that this is what women YouTubers actually feel like a lot because they get a lot of this kind of stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And
you know, if I got 37,000 views, I'm happy with it. Let the negative people be negative.
Yeah, right.
Talk about my ears what I want.
Yeah.
I
mean, I'm like you, Greg. I think I've never deleted a comment. But YouTube has, you know, it's been those ones where I talked about political books. You know, where like that Trump one that I did that got a lot of views. A bunch of people's comments, like some people getting really frustrated because they kept trying to leave comments and they kept getting removed. And it wasn't me. Like I keep having to tell everybody, I'm sorry, it's not me. You know, like this just happened again. I just did one on fascism, and there was.
That's one of those books. I have not watched that one, but I want to read that book because.
Yeah, you should read it. It's good. It's a good book.
Well, one of the things my wife is talking about is that. Because these people are always talking about authoritarianism and making comments, he says, you know, bad comments and negative comments are still comments. It's interaction, and that means YouTube is going to like that.
That's right. That's right.
But Dave, I want to go back to your comments being removed. Who was removing them? YouTube or
YouTube?
Yeah.
So even on this like last video, which was not nearly as big, but there was just whatever words they were using
they have keywords you're not allowed to use.
Yeah. Yeah, so there actually it was pretty funny because this guy was pretty clever, and he was respectful, but he's not from the U.S. And he when I was talking about the country undergoing a fascist movement, he was saying well, was saying different things, but one of the things he was saying was like, well, it's not really any different than some of the stuff that's been happening before in the U.S. That a lot of these things have always been happening with other presidents and this and that. And so it was actually like a decent dialogue, even though we were disagreeing. But he tried to say something, and he would use some names, and it got removed. And I was like, he told me, so yeah, I can't have a conversation because I'm like, I'm sorry, it wasn't me that did it. He's like, I know. He's like, here, let me try again. And he basically made the comment again, but he said, when that guy and then the other guy, like, and he would explain the activities. So I knew who all the guys were, but he just didn't use any names, but you could tell who, so and then the other guy did such and such. And then this guy, the first guy, did such and such. And so he was able to leave the same comment. It made it through.
I had a comment similar when I mentioned the book Darkness at Noon. Well, what about the Biden administration's authoritarianism?
Yeah.
And it was very clear that this person really had no clue what was going along, other than he was probably watching an echo chamber that said Biden is a communist authoritarianism that's out to destroy your life.
Mm-hmm.
I had on May 4th, I did a Kent State remembrance video for May 4th, and I used part of that Crosby, Steele, Nash and Young song, Ohio. And I got a copyright and all this stuff worse than I'm used to getting. And they said you can either remove the video or remove the music from it. I go, okay. I just did the choice. They actually removed the music from like the middle of the video.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, from the middle of it. And they screwed up.
The rest of your sound was unsynced.
Yeah, that's why it was unsynced at the end.
Huh.
Yeah.
No, I want to get back to that in 1 second.
Okay, go ahead.
There's a couple of things that I wanted to get back into the comments. I lost my comment track. Okay, here's Kimba. She's new. I'd rather blather. Okay.
Hi,
All right, Kimba.
Greg, your video today was phenomenal, really fun. Oh, he's talking about this one down here, about your man book video. That was good. That's really kind of curious because she's mentioned here again, the book industry has changed drastically over the years. It currently panders to YA and young female audience. And this is something I noticed because my video was about people claiming there's no books published for men. So I went to the Libby, their top 10 library books for April. And I said, would a man like this book? And a lot of people in my comments, both men and women, saying, I don't like any of those books. Now, the one thing is on my channel, and most of the commenters, it skews older. So I'm not getting 20-something women and 30-something women watching a lot of my videos, which is really the bulk of what this 10 popular books were gearing towards.
Yeah.
So I got to put this in my brain, saying, is this really a male-female phenomenon? Saying the publishers are catering towards women and ignoring men. Is it that they're catering towards, like this woman said here, younger females?
Right.
I don't know. I just don't know. But based on the comments that I'm getting in my video, somebody go, I'm a 70-year-old woman and I would not read any of those books.
Yeah.
So who knows? I don't have enough information to make that determination. It's other people making claims about it.
All right. Yeah.
But it's curious.
Men
And
who
Constance is going, trolls are often bots. I wonder if that's part of the algorithm is just to stir up, like get people angry and just comment and go back, and it helps them. Who knows? She says, men are reaching for sci-fi, fantasy, or nonfiction titles.
Hmm.
Oh, Pat bought the fascism book.
Oh,
I know I bought Madeleine Albright wrote a book on fascism. Was it last year or the year before that?
hmm.
And that went on sale for $1.99 2 weeks ago on Kindle. I just bought it. So now going back, my wife says I should start reviewing more books on authoritarianism and fascism, either nonfiction or fiction, and see what happens. I mean, I may get a lot of negative comments. I may get a couple people unsubscribing if they feel that way, or I may get a lot of new viewers who feel sort of like the way I do and want to engage. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I think any interaction is good interaction, and when I reviewed Liz Cheney's book, that one, there was a lot of activity on that one, and I definitely lost subscribers, but I gained way more subscribers than I lost.
And you know something, I'm fine with
video.
that, because if they feel that way, they're really not going to like the books that I'm talking about.
Yeah, right.
And honestly, they can go. They can find their own type.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, my feeling on it is until 2024, that Liz Cheney book, I reviewed that in the beginning of 2024. And that was the first time I ever had a video like that, where I got into a political discussion around that book. And prior to that, I always steered away from anything even slightly controversial. That was a conscious decision not to do anything like that, not to ruffle feathers. And going into 2024, it was like kind of a BookTube New Year's resolution. I said, I'm not going to shy away from that anymore, because I figured, I'm like, this is silly, because a lot of the time these fiction books that we're talking about, we're talking about that, and we're trying to relate these things to real life, right? What kind of symbolism and messaging do they have? What kind of application does this story have to issues that we have in real life? So why am I going to be afraid to talk about nonfiction books and what those nonfiction books are discussing? So I just decide I'm not going to be worried about that anymore. And if people don't want to watch it, then they don't have to stick around.
And you know something? We had this conversation when I did my Stephen King reading group, I guess about a year ago almost. We did Holly by Stephen King.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you ever read any of those books.
I haven't.
Okay. Essentially, Holly is a woman with emotional difficulties who becomes a private investigator.
She's really shy and somewhat naive.
She might be, I don't want to get technical, but she has a lot of psychological, maybe autistic issues, and it was set during COVID, and she was very stringent about wearing masks, washing your hands, not getting too close. And there were some digs at Trump, and people just went ballistic. How dare Stephen King insert his politics into his book?
Oh, he hates Trump.
Oh man, he does. But the thing is, it's not King. It's his character Holly. And yes, she would. Now, she's talking about his politics, so it's a little disingenuous that he's not doing it, because he is. But there is a character base that she would say that. She would believe that. And some people just couldn't take it. They just like, you ruined the book for me.
Yeah.
But it still is, I don't mind. But
you'd read a book about a serial killer, right? Even though you don't like, even though you don't support serial killing,
right?
These are serial killers I'll never forget, especially.
And there are plenty of horror novels told from the point of view of the serial killer.
All
How
right.
about that part with the guy who had the little Scooby snacks in his pocket?
Are you frozen, Alan?
No, I was
Yeah, looks like
talking.
you-
Can you hear
oh.
me? My,
You're frozen for a second.
Froze for a
Oh,
couple
well.
seconds there.
You hear me about the Scooby snacks? Remember that guy in one of the
Shaggy.
books? God, man, it was gross.
No, wait a second. Oh, which book is this?
I don't know. You tell me. I forgot one of the Holly books where the couple. had
Oh,
those-
that was Holly. That was the last book where they made this. Yeah. Oh, we won't get into that. It's a good book.
gross, man.
So yeah, no, wait. Pat said something important that she had to delete comments that were horribly
Yeah.
offensive and attacking.
Oh yeah.
I think, yeah. Just to reemphasize, if they're specifically attacking people in a
Yeah.
certain way, like I will allow people to say I talk slow. That's fine. But I can definitely see where these comments could get out of hand. And then
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Pat's did for sure. I didn't want to
I
mention
remember
it.
you talking about some people really got offensive and mean, and that's not cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I would delete it if it was. I haven't had to, but if there was real hate speech,
I have not seen anything cross the line in one of my videos yet.
yeah,
It's come close.
I've deleted comments before, but just out of spite.
yeah.
Oh, Kimba's worked at a bookstore for 25 years. Don't tell anyone.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you just sort of confess to everyone. We're not a big audience.
Don't tell anybody.
Mm.
Now it's all over.
Yeah.
It's all over BookTube now. Dave will talk about it on his show too.
Most of the books you were reading from, Greg, definitely seem geared to younger female reading audience. Definitely not geared towards men or women in our general age group. You know, that's a good subject for a video, talking about age and reading preferences. Is
Yeah.
there something
Yeah.
that really just appeals to younger or our generation? I'm 60, Alan's 60. You're 50 something, Dave, something like that.
50. Well, I'll be 52 in
Yeah.
a week or two.
All right. Still probably in our category more than 30 somethings.
So you're a Gemini.
I'm a Gemini. Yep.
That's a good sign. My father's a Gemini as well.
Cobalt or Elaine says Captain Makeup may take notice. Dude is nuts.
Ah,
I don't know Captain Makeup.
that's
Yeah, what is
Trump. Trump.
Oh,
It's got to be Trump,
yeah.
I assume. But
I'm
you know
sure.
about that.
Ellen says I did a thank you to unsubs video. May soon be doing another.
That's
I don't
funny.
like to tempt my subscribers too much. I might push them over the edge, and I need all the subs I can get.
Here's Constance saying, I would love to hear about books, any genre that could offer advice for thriving in a fascist country while resisting.
It's kind of tough.
Yeah, well, Constance, I'm going to try it. I have Autocracy Inc. by Anne Applebaum.
Oh,
I just got it from the library today, so I will finish this sometime tomorrow. And then I'm going to read that one. And then I get to go on to The Goddess of Filth.
I heard a new word on a podcast or something today. Idiocracy.
Idiocracy.
Idiot.
Yeah.
Isn't that a movie? Not a book?
Yeah,
No,
there
I
is a
just-
movie. Yeah,
Idiocracy.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I'll be curious to see what you think about. I was thinking about picking that one up, Greg, but I've already got to. I can only read so many books in that area.
Anne Applebaum's a good
Applebaum's.
I've read a couple books by hers already.
Yeah,
She started off as just a historian.
yeah.
She did one about the life behind the Soviet Union, the Iron Curtain. The life behind the Iron Curtain was very good.
Can't believe you guys can't hear this. Natives are getting restless.
No, I don't
Hear
hear
that?
it.
I don't hear it.
It's drumming.
Oh, I can hear just a little bit.
That's good. I've got a few drums.
Right about me.
Makeup.
Jim was talking about my drums. Jim at Mystery and Mayhem. So like these drums I have, they're like Indian Sioux drums. I put a Celtic cross on this one. Just like that. But
Can you play that pretty well?
I have to get my mallet. Where's that? Sure. The officer going, who the fuck is that? But yeah, I live in a Native American building with a big art studio downstairs, and that's how I got in here. I did give examples from art, but it's mostly Native American here. Cool building.
So Constance says, one of my doctors likes Anne Applebaum. Kimba, I tend to prefer older fiction and biographies. I don't base my reading decisions on Reese, Witherspoon, or Oprah, or Jenna.
Well, Oprah's given me a lot of sound advice. She told me I remember Light in August. I remember that was
I know she did a Faulkner Summer or something like that.
Yeah. Well, Oprah. She's turned me on to a lot of good books. But I read a lot of biographies, Kimba. Like Billy Idol. Let's not even bring that up again.
I'm not a fan of biographies, but I don't know. I might need to check out that Idol book.
It's really good, man. It's sex, drugs, and rock and roll. I read a lot of. They usually end up dead or in rehab. He's still going. You tell you sex on a motorcycle, all kinds of crazy stuff. Getting in Bangkok, stuff that embarrassed my grandma. I wouldn't even want to. Here's a tale from the past. I went through like all kinds of the system for the Peace Corps back in the 80s. I even got like my shots at the Air Force Base. I was going to Thailand. And my friend used to say, well, it's a good thing you didn't go. Then my girl got pregnant and all this good stuff, right? But I didn't go. He said, just as good, you probably end up in a Thai prison. Remember that movie about the, what was it called? Damn.
Midnight Express.
Yeah, that's it.
I was a Turkish prison, not a Thai prison.
Oh, that was Turkish. I confused the two.
Well, something, I think I would rather not go to either of those two prisons personally.
Turkey is pretty cool.
But the thing is now we'll get a little political. Is that we may all be going to Libyan prisons pretty soon.
Oh God!
When they get rid of the habeas corpus. I mean, you talked about anti-authoritarian books on your YouTube channel. We're sending you off to Libya. No, or is it Rwanda? They actually did the deal with. I can't remember. It might be Rwanda.
So they found a new place.
Well, I guess El Salvador wasn't nasty enough for some of us.
I didn't hear they just did another deal.
They're talking about. I don't know if they've penned a deal or talking about deals, but
you know what the most horrible thing about those prisons are? No books, no Bibles, nothing, dudes. No books.
Yeah, that's the most horrible thing, Alan.
Well, I mean, from my standpoint, I've been in the hole in prison, and you're lucky if you get a New Testament. You don't even get the old one. That's torture, man. If you're in the hole with no books, you're writing on the walls and shit.
Yeah, well, I my guess is in Rwanda they're not going to have any funds for books, so
it's like that's like a Twilight Zone. For me, when you think about it,
I don't know the Billy Club slapping you about the side of the head and the back every day. That might be a little worse than.
Shit. No.
All right. Hey, Gareth is here. Hello, Gareth.
Hey, Gareth.
Coming in very end.
I'm done with the biscuits.
We did biscuits, Gareth. You missed it. Well, they did biscuits. I didn't do biscuits.
Yeah, we had biscuit. If you want to count a $100,000 bar of biscuit.
Yeah, you missed it, Gareth. Greg just pulled a Jim. And when Jim pulled out the lifesaver, Greg pulled out a chocolate bar.
Try to palm it off as a biscuit.
Oh man!
All right, guys. We've been at this at an hour and 35 minutes.
Wow.
My voice is kind of
mine was
giving
kind of
out.
squeaky too.
So any last comments from the chat room for you guys before we call it an evening?
That always goes fast for me.
It does. My only thing is we got to figure out how to do these chats with beer and chicken wings.
Yeah, no kidding.
Beer and chicken wings. That's
Well,
I'd go for that, but I'd have Diet Coke and chicken wings.
You know,
I have to get a guest to do that, Greg.
that sounds like a good live stream theme. We should set that up one time. A beer and chicken wings. We'll do the 4 Horsemen. The 4 Horsemen beer and chicken wings episode.
Maybe, yeah. Why not?
It was kind of your idea, Greg. I'm just saying.
It could. Now, the thing is, I originally wanted to do it in a pub.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone go to a different pub, and then someone pointed out that pubs have music.
Yeah, what?
Have music,
Oh,
and
yeah.
all of a sudden you would get copyright violations.
I know a pub. I go to Pizza Jerky and go outside, so I could do it from there in a corner.
Honestly, if we wanted to do it, we'll probably just have to go out, buy your chicken wings, and take them home. And
yeah,
we should think about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dave's in.
I'm
Okay,
in.
we'll think about it.
Gareth, you're in.
You can go by the beach.
And you don't have to drink. You don't have to drink beer, Alan. You can drink your Diet Coke. It's fine.
No, I drink cherry Coke,
Cherry Coke is fine.
like Mason and Dixon, brought to you by Reverend Cherry Coke.
All right. Gareth said I scared them off.
I know that's bad timing, Garrett.
Well, it's all right. Well, everyone, I had a blast.
Yeah, it was fun, Dave.
Thanks for having me on, man. It's always a blast with you guys.
Your third time or something like
Third
that?
time. Are you guys doing a green jacket too? Because I think I might be in the running if you are.
There's no budget in my channel for giving out for jackets.
It's Gareth and
It would be
MJ.
tax deductible if I did.
Gareth and MJ have 3.
Okay.
All right. Well, everyone, thanks for showing up. It's been a blast. Catch you
Thanks.
next week.
Thanks, everyone.